very strange way of blending the movie together because it doesn't really feel like a horror movie until like the last like half hour or so.
No, it's...
like there's creepy elements here and there, but it almost feels like, oh, you're watching a family Santa Claus film without him like spying on the children.
There's a little subgenre of film that I like to call like slow descent, into insanity. There's got to be a slower, there's got to be a shorter way to sum that up. But that's it's a plot device that's used here and there, and it's used pretty effectively in this one. But I love to watch a main character in a movie slowly lose their mind.
Yeah, he like devolves into madness.
Like you were saying earlier about the humming the Christmas songs, like that scene where he's on the couch like humming.
Oh, and he gets
he like balls his fists up and he's like
breaking a toy.
Back. His descent into madness is very good. That's your alarm to take your old man pills.
Yep. So I don't die. I don't want to die on the podcast.
That'd be a good episode.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to be the first one to die on the podcast.
Yeah, we've already talked about that.
Yeah.
You said we have all rights to publish it. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm for it. Or you just gonna die? I'll probably kill myself.
Yeah, basically this is kind of like a
25. That's a milestone.
This is almost like a character study in a way when you watch this movie. Because, you just kind of watch this guy just slowly just devolve into madness. And then, like Randy said, you can tell, like little ticks that he has, like, just start showing more and more and more as the movie goes on. And then he gets to the point where he actually just fucking finally snaps and, like, actually starts killing people.
But yeah,
in pretty brutal ways, too.
When he makes his Santa suit and, like, paints the sleigh on his van. And, it's...
And he goes, like... Because he starts off like...
The scene where he's, like, standing in the mirror, tugging on the beard is fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was going to say, and then even before that, though, when he, like, he's walking down the street and the kid, like, he sees all the kids and he's saying hi to the kids. He's like, what do you wish for? And then the one kid goes, I wish for a year's subscription to Penthouse.
Yeah.
And he, like, goes to the kid's house later on that night. And I'm guessing he's marking the house to remind himself who was naughty because he, like... smears himself with mud in his hands, and then he like presses his hands and face against the wall, and then like you see it just like no one notices except for him. So I'm assuming that's his way of marking the house for the naughty kid.
He's just a weird fucking guy, Scott.
That I buy what Scott said. It makes sense.
You think it's like Passover?
Yeah, I just think it's just his way of marking it. So like later on, he can come to it and knows that's the naughty house right off the bat.
You know where the naughty house
I do, because I'm naughty.
We're in the naughty house.
Yeah.
I'd fuck me.
Fuck me so good.
I'd fuck me so hard. Wait, was she a great big fat person? Buffalo Bill's here.
Awesome. We had Santa and Buffalo Bill.
Precious.
Yeah, like I like how it starts off and he's like...
I like how he ends his Buffalo Bill impression. Go ahead.
But I like how he starts off like... When he finally just devolves into the madness and he takes on the Santa aspect, he starts off by doing like typical like what you'd think of a person going like people's houses, dropping off gifts, and like he goes to his toy store and steals all the toys, and like then goes to their houses, and he goes to the party and finds out like
dances around with the kids and stuff.
Yep, dances with kids. He goes to people's houses, leaves gifts at their house, like breaks into their house, leaves gifts, and then leaves. But then with the naughty kids, he I forget what he did to the boy that he marked the house with, but I think he goes in there and like starts destroying stuff, and then ends up finding some of the head guys of the toy store outside of the church.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that scene was just great because he just guys like two of the guys are like fucking with him, and he like pulls out a freaking toy soldier and just stabs the dude in the eye with it, and like up close like eye stabbing was just awesome looking.
Yeah.
And then a couple swings of his axe to a couple people's heads and just like kills like 3 people right off the bat.
Do you have the DVD of that, or did you watch this on...
I watched it on Shudder.
Okay, because who put this out? Like Synapse or...
Yeah, it was Vinegar Syndrome just put it out.
Okay.
Or put it out a couple years ago.
I thought somebody had put it out.
On standard DVD, it was like all around, like in a lot of box sets and shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vinegar
Syndrome...
just public domain. Right?
Yeah, I have the shitty diamond fucking... And mine looks really bad.
Yeah, Shudder looked really good.
Yeah, that's why I watched it on too.
But yeah, I think that's probably just like a transfer of the Blu-ray.
Yeah, but all those the kills with the little axe there are pretty good.
Yeah, I'll say because you get to see the axe swing down on top of the couple of the guys' skulls, and he just fucking jumps back in his truck and leaves, and people are freaking out, and that's when the kind of the madness really takes in, and he like starts. Like that's when he shows up to that office party, and the people pull him in, like, "Oh, you're Santa Claus, come in!" And he's like, "No!" And then the kids come up, and he starts pretending to be Santa, and it's just then his brother finds out that
that's when he goes and starts killing people that he works with. Because he smothers the dude with...
Yes. I forgot who the people outside the church were.
Yeah, he kills the guy in bed, like, right next to his wife. It's like, funny how long that she's just, like, sleeping next to him while he's smothering him.
And he's, like, struggling to smother him and, like, just gives up and grabs that Christmas... the star off the Christmas tree and slices his throat.
She was on Lambien.
Probably.
That's when you count lambs.
I think that back then...
I missed that one. What did he say?
It took you way too long.
I don't think I want to know what he said. Never mind.
Lambien. No.
It's when you count lambs instead of sheep.
Oh.
It helps you go to sleep. Lambien.
Okay, I thought you said something worse.
That was really bad, though.
Yeah,
it's about this time that like people start noticing that people are being bumped off by Santa, and like people are on the lookout for the killer Santa or whatever.
Yep, and the angry mob forms and
with the torches and
yeah,
shit. It's great that they have torches. I think that it's awesome that they have torches.
Yeah, because they all they go through what it was like a 2-minute scene of them lighting torches before they even start chasing him, and but yeah, then he ends up going back to his brother's house, and his brother pretty much knows right off the bat that he's the one that's been doing all the killings, and fucking accidentally chokes him, thinks he kills him. And then throws him in his car and was just going to leave him there. And then he punches his brother and fucking takes off.
Oh, that was a fucking nice right hook out of nowhere.
Right.
That's the end of the movie, right there.
Well,
the ending.
The ending is when he drives off the...
the ending, oh my God.
I don't know if you want to give spoilers.
Well, it's not really even this... I mean...
There's really nothing to really spoil.
Yeah, the ending is fairly ambiguous.
I took it as it was in his head. Obviously,
all of it was in his head.
No, the fucking flying off like ET.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
Because he flies.
I think that he legitimately drove off the overpass like that, but
I
think he then quickly crashed and burned.
But it shows him flying into the sky towards the moon like he's Santa Claus on his sleigh.
Yeah,
the scene with Jeffrey DeBun where he falls into the ravine that's all snowy and shit. It's obviously set dressed with sheets.
Yeah, did you see that? The sheets were moving and shit.
Yeah.
I was watching it with a girl last night, and I was like, am I fucking high, or did you see
No, that was that's the only really fucking kind of...
I can't believe they did went through editing and everything, and it was just keep it.
Yeah, because aside from that, the rest of the film looks great and is performed well, and all the effects come off pretty good. But that whole bit is...
Yeah, that's a reshot. If I've ever seen one, just fucking redo it.
All right, score time. I will give this a 7.5. All around well acted. Great character study. Fun watch. I was expecting, just from the cover itself, I was expecting it more to be a typical slasher with a high body count and everything. But there really wasn't too high of a body count. There's probably about, I think, 5 kills total.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
But yeah, I say all around it was good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, 7.5.
I'm going to give it an 8. The acting was fucking top notch. It was unbelievable for that unknown cast, I guess. There was a part where Jeffrey DeMunn was arguing with his wife and going back and forth and yelling at the kids at the same time. It just felt like it was a real argument conversation with a family and stuff. So, Fiona Apple's dad killed it.
Oh yeah,
that dude's
awesome.
insane.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He's fucking insane.
Fantastic performance. He must just be kind of an unhinged fellow.
I don't know, and I don't know him from anything else at all.
No, nothing at all.
Because I didn't recognize him.
I didn't check and see if he has any other credits, but he should have either way. But
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I gave it an 8.
I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Yeah, the acting and just I don't know. I love the way that it builds and builds until he finally snaps. I love watching him lose his fucking mind. It's really well written. It's I don't know. It's not even necessarily a slasher or whatever. It's just
once again the cover kind of portrays it in a different light.
Yeah, it's a deceptive cover. It makes it look like it's going to be way more typical slasher that it's going to be, even though that wasn't even like a thing at the time because it was 1980.
Right.
Yeah, it's far different than, if you want to count it as a slasher, than most, because it's a lot more cerebral and a lot more about the killer and less about his victims, and it's about watching him become, what he's going to become.
Yeah.
But
Is that
it? It's an 8.
It's an 8. And that was Christmas Evil, and it's
on to our next film.
No, I was going to say it's highly recommended, and
highly recommended.
On to our next film.
It's highly recommended.
You just spoiled my ending to this segment. And on to our next film. Sorry for the spoiler alert. Our next film is To All a Good Night, and it's directed by the great late David Hess.
Yeah, Rape, Revenge, Smut Lord. Is he dead?
Yeah, he died like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
He's on my Facebook friends still, too.
Oh,
and he likes all my stuff. No, I'm just kidding. But he is on my Facebook. That'd be weird, though. Only me, though. He only likes my stuff. This is a 1980 film. I picked it just because he directed it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know who David Hess is, then you need to educate yourself and watch Last House on the Left and House on the Edge of the Park and Hitchhike and maybe even Swamp Thing.
And
maybe even Swamp Thing.
And I found out some information that this was being made at the same time as Friday the 13th, which is, Friday the 13th got a lot of the notice for a lot of the kills.
You said they aped the entire,
there's a lot of similarities between the two.
Yeah, but they're being filmed at the exact same time for the most part. And this came out a couple months before Friday did.
Unless there was a mole running back and forth between
that's just
rooms.
Very odd to me.
Yeah, because there is a Friday the 13th.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Somebody should really write, I don't know,
parallel thought,
a couple of page article about the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but
I'm
a firm believer in the fucking collective consciousness. Not firm believer, but I think there's something there.
Well, like the Akashic Records.
Yeah, and then parallel thought. I've done status updates and seen them in memes 2 years ago or 2 years later and stuff. So I mean,
you reach into my goddamn head all the time. You fucking shroom guru.
Yes, I'm gonna do shrooms here in a little bit.
That's pretty sweet.
Yep. So yeah, I picked this for David. I was majorly into David Hess a year ago. I went and got all his music. I even watched his fucking family doing a eulogy on YouTube at his fucking wake or whatever.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. I listened to his son's music. They're actually in House on the Edge of the Park.
Uh-huh.
There's a Easter egg in that. If you have the DVD, you can click on something and it shows a clip of his son playing a guitar and singing and shit. So it was I knew he used to write for Elvis.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So David Hess is
Yeah,
multifaceted,
Hess wrote
talent.
Most of the music in Last House.
Yeah, because I knew about the music in Last House.
And he wrote for Elvis.
And he wrote a song called Vagabond, which is used in this film that was sung by
one of the actors.
Yeah, one of the actors, but he does a terrible job.
Yeah, the dude playing the acoustic.
Yeah, that was a David Hess song that he's playing.
Oh, okay.
Road Leads to Nowhere is a genuinely good song.
I love that song, but you can only find a minute clip.
Snippet.
Yeah, but then it goes into some fucking other jam thing that's not that song.
Yeah, the fact that no one's ever released a collection of his music is...
No, they have.
Oh.
But not that song.
No.
You can only find it on the soundtrack.
Where's the goddamn Lost Tracks of David Hess?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. So David Hess, he's amazing. He's cool and stuff. He's cooler than that Body by Jake guy with the same haircut.
Oh, for sure.
Steinfeld?
Yeah, Stein.
Home Sweet Home.
Things you'll see in this movie. You'll see a Black Christmas